Welcome everybody back to High Performance Trader, the YouTube channel that collects reliable data and builds profitable day trading systems based off that data. I'm Joshua Salvetti, and today we're going to be breaking down yet again another example of our beautiful three-step approach. And I labeled this video, How to Trade the Market When the Market is Crashing. Right? So you guys probably seeing all this stuff all over YouTube. Oh my God, the market's crashing. What do we do? How do we trade? First of all, the market is not crashing, right? This is a pullback, correction, etc. And second of all, it doesn't matter which environment the market's going through. What matters is how you approach it. And that's what we're going to be talking about today in this video. I used to make the mistake that volatile markets that I shouldn't be trading, right? Or, oh my God, the market's selling off. I can only go short, right? Like I would create these scenarios in my mind. And then what would happen is the market would open and I would overthink things that I wouldn't be able to get in trades and my execution was off, etc. So today in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how our three-step approach just guided us completely through the market, how we were able to execute in the trade that we capitalized on. So first things first, let me share my screen so I do not forget to do that. And I'm going to head over to the Discord, right? So before we go any further, guys, make sure you take advantage of what I'm currently offering. Let's be extremely clear. High Performance Trader, the YouTube channel that collects data and builds reliable systems based off that data. What does that mean? The High Performance Trader HPT cross. This is our strategy. I get a lot of traders taking advantage of this resource. What's the resource? You come over to my website. It's the first link below and you click it and it brings you here. Now, this is a 5-minute document. You can read this document in less than 5 minutes and have all the information that you need to start executing appropriately. And then if you check out the testimonials, these are real members that literally joined HPT this month and they're crushing it, right? And click here, subscribe to the data reports, and I will send you weekly, not monthly, weekly high-level summaries on our edge and how to execute it, right? So the trade we're going to be going over today looks very similar to these trades. And it's because we approach the market with the exact same approach every single day. Once again, it doesn't matter if the market's falling. It doesn't matter if it's crashing. It doesn't matter if it's going up, down, sideways. I approach the market the same exact way each and every single day. So take advantage of this offer. We've had 200 people sign up for this in last month alone. And shout out to you guys because you guys are about to crush the market. Take advantage of this. It's extremely beneficial, right? So now I'm going to go over to the Discord, right? This is our platform that we and all premium high performance trader members get access to, right? And I'm going to show you the trade that we took. 4/8/2025, right? Once again, extremely simple approach. Why do I trade the same approach every single day? Well, it's about creating your own environment, right? So the market's extremely unstructured. What do I mean by that? I mean, the market is filled with endless amounts of variability, right? There's no structure to it until you develop the structure. See, when you develop the structure, now all what's required is the discipline to execute it, right? And a lot of traders go, Josh, I struggle with discipline. How do you build discipline? How do you build confidence? And that's where the data comes in, right? So if you join our Discord or if you subscribe to those free data reports, you'll get the data that's going to help you execute appropriately. This is the trade that we took. You can see here, price rallied here off the morning. Comes into that beautiful EMA cloud. Look at that beautiful EMA bounce right there. That's the 5 in the 21 EMA. Buyers defend it. We bounce. We rally above open print. We rally into previous day high, but we can't hold. Sellers come in. Now, okay, sellers come in. Josh, why don't you short here? Why don't you short here? Well, where am I going to put my stop? Right? We need a calculated approach that allows us to predefine our risk. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you today in this video, right? A simple way, a simple tool, a simple exercise called the red bar or green bar ignored, right? This is where we enter the market short. Our stop goes above it. In just this move, in less than 10 minutes, I cleared $830 trading SPX, right? So this was the trade that we took. And, shout out to the team, because if you come over here to profits, you're just going to see members killing it. Members of HPT have been putting in tremendous amounts of work. They trade our strategy. And look, I mean, they've just been absolutely murdering the market. And this is exactly what we do over here at High Performance Trader. Right? So let's break it down. SPY alerts. Well, you know what? Let's start from the top. This was the trade that we took. This is where we called it out here. But I want to start by opening up the charts and breaking a couple things down, right? So I get a lot of questions about my pre-market plans. Pre-market plans are very important, right? Because think about it. You start your day before starting your day, right? You approach the market and you ask yourself, what's my pre-market plan? Now, this is very important because I've made more mistakes by marrying my pre-market plan than I have once the market opened up. See, one of the main reasons why I used to fail as a day trader is I was constantly trying to predict things, right? Predicting things is going to cost you way more money than it's ever going to make you. I truthfully believe we become amazing day traders when we stop predicting, right? Predicting leads to marrying certain scenarios, right? Now, your brain, I talked about this in my last YouTube video. It's called perceptual distortion. What that means is the market has a reality, right? The market's moving. Now, we have a reality in our mind, usually our pre-market plan, etc. Now, our job is to make sure that the market's reality and our reality are aligned. If they're not aligned, we are going to be making bad decisions over and over based off fear, based off greed, based off doubt, right? And we don't want to do that. That costs us money. What we want to do is make sure we're trading off current market information. This is why we use the pit numbers. What are the pit numbers? End of day, previous day high, previous day low, right? Which would be right down here. And then open print. So how this works is my pre-market plan is very simple. I identify a critical level, which in this case was 510.05. And now in pre-market, we rallied up into previous day high, right? Previous day high is a very easy level to trade. Why? Because all what you do is identify what happened at previous day high yesterday. And then as price comes into this level, you ask yourself, who is in control, right? So if it's our job to make money, we have to realize we can't move the market. Who moves the market? The banks do, right? We can't manipulate price. So if we need to understand which way price is headed, we need to understand what the banks are doing. How do we do this? By watching highly volatile areas, right? Pit numbers, previous day high, open print, previous day low. Okay. Price opens up. Now, if you go back to my document, I only trade this approach, meaning for me to get into a trade, these 3 steps must be present. There's no exceptions. I only trade my approach because my approach yields an 82% win ratio. My approach keeps me from trading choppy market conditions. My approach keeps me from making emotional, irrational, and unprofitable decisions, right? Do I miss setups? Yeah, but I don't care because at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, I'm making money. My input matches my output. As long as I follow this approach, I do well, right? So let's see how this approach, being identify open print, that's step number 1, identify the critical level. Step number 2 is identify the crossover. This is when the EMA cloud crosses. EMA cloud goes from red to green or from green to red. EMA cloud is made up of the 5 and the 21 EMA, right? This is how we understand who has control over the critical level. And now I can't just enter when I get a moving average cross. I enter when I get a red bar or green bar ignored. So if I whip back out the trade that we took here, what are we getting? Critical level is open print. Moving average cross, right? Green cloud turning to red. And then I get a green bar that's ignored. I'm in short targeting 5157, right? So you'll see over here at 1107, I'm telling the Discord I'm in shorts. This is on SPX. Very simple, same criteria, which was identified on SPY. Study your winning trades. Find repeatabilities, right? You have to find reasons to take tomorrow's trade. You can't just put on a good trade and go to sleep at night thinking everything's going to be sweet. You have to ask yourself, what about this trade is repeatable? If it was repeatable, right? Our input is always going to match our output. Therefore, our input has to be high and tight. It has to be structured. It has to make sense. And we have to believe in it. And this is why we collect data and we rinse, repeat every single day. This is literally every single day. This is how we trade. We got in the market short, 1107, and we caught a beautiful move down to 51570, right? Beautiful trade, locked in, what I say, like $800. And you know what? Was it challenging? Absolutely. Was it scary? Due to the fact that these candles have over $4, $5 ranges? Absolutely. But it's not about how I feel, right? It's not about all the emotions running through my mind. It's about what the data is telling me. It's about closing the gap between the market's reality and my reality, right? And the more we can close that gap, the more in sync, the more aligned we are with the market information, the easier it is for us to execute appropriately, right? This was beautiful, guys. This was a beautiful trade. You know what's almost as good as this trade? Yesterday's trade, right? So that was today's trade. Phenomenal trade. Now, for those of you that are familiar with our strategy, you've seen it yesterday. Look at this. This was disgusting. Look at this long play we caught yesterday. We entered the market long right here at 498. What was that? Like 497. Why'd we enter this long? Let's talk about it. Open print is identified. Moving average cross. Red bar gets ignored. I get long, and this thing rallies over $20. This was one of the most insane trades I ever took. And I got out right as we're approaching previous day open print. Josh, why'd you get out right there? Because look at the pocket in between price and the moving average. See, this is why when traders join my team, I don't just show them how to trade. I teach them the principles behind the decisions I make. Because if you understand the principles and the precepts, why I'm making the decisions I am, you'll be able to fish. You'll be able to execute flawlessly. You won't need me. And that's my goal over here at High Performance Trader. I'm building a team of traders that are confident traders, that are consistent traders, that use the same system every single day, and that understand the principles, right? So yesterday's trade was just, I mean, it was beautiful, man. It was mind-blowing, honestly. I was completely blown away at how well, but then I reminded myself, this is what we do. This is why I trade this system. This is why I've accumulated this vast amounts of data on it. Look at this, open print. Josh, why aren't you shorting the morning? Because there's no moving average cross. There's no GBI. I don't care. It's non-negotiable. And it becomes non-negotiable when you start realizing what actually works. Why would I do anything different? Price rallies up. Okay, cool. But I can't get long until I get a RBI. Get a RBI, and she cooked. This thing literally cooked. I whip out the 2-minute just so I could show you guys. Look at this. Cooked. It's on a 2-minute. Beautiful trade. Absolute beautiful trade. And to capitalize on this, you guys got to be ready. Your expectations got to be on point. But it's fine because think about it. The way the strategy's built, it's easy to be prepared. You identify the open. Cool. You get the moving average cross. Cool. Right here, I'm pulling up my contracts. I'm going, okay. I'm ready for longs if I get an RBI here. So my contract's already ready. Once we break that RBI, market order in, and the rest is history. So I'm so fucking proud of the team right now. I'm actually kind of blown away. I never thought HPT was going to be doing as good as we are. But then again, I remind myself why we're doing well, right? We're doing well because we're following a system that actually works. We've proven to ourselves it works. Men lie, women lie, data doesn't. Look at my data, right? I literally gathered and studied data for 4 years before becoming a trader, right? I understand data very easily, right? Which is why I've created the high-level summary. When I worked in the telecommunications business for research and development, and we were creating new systems, new products for building 5G antennas, this is exactly how we collected the data, right? And what does data do for you? It helps you understand what's really happening. It helps you get very clear. Once again, it gets rid of that perceptual distortion between your reality and the market's reality, right? So, guys, take advantage of this. It's phenomenal. Really good resource. I also send a mini course with anybody that subscribes to this so that you can get familiar. You don't have to keep losing money. The sooner you can switch your approach and keep it consistent, the sooner everything's going to change for you, right? So click those links below. I love you guys. I hope you have a phenomenal day. Let's finish this week strong. And once again, guys, I'm not going to tell you good luck because luck has nothing to do with it, right? I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in hard work and building systems and then relying on those systems, right? So I love you guys. Have a phenomenal day, and I will see you guys in the next recap.